Recently, Pam Bondi was drugged into Congress for a hearing. Had to testify on her handling of the Epstein files, which we all know it was not handled well. This has been very bad from the beginning, and everything looks really bad for Epstein right now. So there was one point of contention is that there was a bunch of names redacted that shouldn't have been, and there's a bunch of names redacted that should not have been redacted. So Thomas Massie is going to call her out for this, and it just signifies how this whole hearing went. It was a few hours long. Pam Bondi would not answer any questions from Democrat lawmakers, and she had this binder of facts about Democratic lawmakers to just put them down and degrade them. It is a sight to behold, and it's just a sign of how this Congress and this government just isn't currently working for us the way it should be.
Mr. Chairman, behind me I have 3 documents from the DOJ production that are emblematic of the massive failure of the DOJ to comply with the Epstein Files Transparency Act. To my right is an email that was sent by the victim's lawyers to the DOJ. It was a list of names not to redact, a list of names not to release. What did the DOJ do with this email? They released this email in the document production. Literally the worst thing you could do to the survivors, you did. And they're getting phone calls. A lot of these people didn't want to be known. And we know you touched the document because you redacted one name and you redacted the lawyer's name.
What do you guys think that one name is? We all know what the name is.
But you left the survivor's name there. The next document I want to show you, that was in the title, the victim's survivors' names, all right? The title of this one is Child Sex Trafficking, Co-Conspirators, fully redacted. And by the way, I'm going to unredact them here. Les Wexner is in this. Now, your deputy attorney general said, oh, well, he appears hundreds of times in the files, but he doesn't appear in this file until I forced you to release it, where he's listed as a co-conspirator, not to tax evasion, but to child sex trafficking, not to prostitution, not to money laundering, child sex trafficking. And then finally, what we have here is the third exhibit that I have is emblematic of the FD 302 release. These are the documents that we need, that you're holding on to and over-redacting because they have the names of the men who are implicated. How do we know? Because the survivors gave testimony to the FBI, and it's in there. And what happens when you go to the portal at the DOJ to look at what's behind this redaction? Another redaction. So we can't even see them. And then there's some of these files you've pulled down from the website that we will never see because we can't search the redactions. So I have several questions for you. Who's responsible? Are you able to track who in your organization made this massive failure and released the victims' names? Are you able to track who it was that obscured Les Wexner's name as a co-conspirator in an FBI document? Do you have that kind of accountability?
I believe Wexner's name was listed more than 4,000 times.
Yeah, I already told you that. This is where he's listed as a co-conspirator.
Can I finish my answer? Come on, let me finish my answer. We corrected that within 40 minutes. He was already, you're acting like everybody's trying to cover up Wexner's name.
Reclaiming my time.
I'm going to answer this question.
Reclaiming my time.
Mr.
Chairman.
This is how this works.
Can I have my time back? Mr. Chairman.
This is like emblematic of what the whole hearing was, Congress would ask a question and she would just go on this tangent about something else and not answering the question like at all. The whole hearing was like this, and that was the plan from the beginning, unfortunately. That's what Trump wants, and that's what Pam Bondi does.
The gentlelady can give her answer. The time belongs to the gentleman from.
All right, I'm reclaiming my time.
Can I give my answer?
So yes. I'm going to put the language of the bill up on the screen.
Chairman, may I give my answer on that? It's a political joke. And
It's going to be hard to read that quickly, but basically it says that you are not allowed to take anyone's name out of there unless you tell us why you took the name out of there.
I need to give my answer on that.
We'll let the Attorney General respond, and then the gentleman can move to his next question.
It's my time.
Within 40 minutes, you asked me a question. Within 40 minutes, Wexner's name was added back.
Within 40 minutes of me catching you red-handed.
There was one redaction.
Why was the name taken out in the first place? Who took the name out? Answer the relevant questions.
He's listed as a co-conspirator.
And we invited you in. This guy has Trump derangement syndrome. He needs to get, you're a failed politician.
This guy has Trump derangement syndrome. That's the Attorney General of the United States saying something like that. This isn't functioning. This isn't normal. We can't go on like this. I made a video about this one. Kash Patel says there's no other co-defendants.
I want you to watch the video.
Mr. Chairman, please restore his time and remind the witness of the rules
Himself,
here.
there is no credible information. None. If there were, I would bring the case yesterday that he trafficked to other individuals.
Is that your position as well?
My position is any victim who comes forward, of course, we would love to hear from them. 1-800-CALL-FBI.
Okay, so what he asked was, is it your position that there's no other co-conspirators? That's the question that he asked. What did she say? Beep-a-dee-ba-dee-ba-dee-ba-dee. I don't know what she's even talking about. She didn't answer the question. That's just how this whole thing went. It sucks.
Did you ask Merrick Garland that the last 4 years? Did you talk about Epstein?
I am reclaiming my time. I'm glad you're asking about Merrick Garland.
You don't get to reclaim
because
time
this
when
is
you don't-
bigger than
when you can't-
Watergate.
when I don't answer a question the
this
way you
goes
want.
over 4 administrations. You don't have to go back to Biden. Let's go back to Obama. Let's go back to George Bush. This cover-up spans decades, and you are responsible for this portion of it.
And that's
Now,
Part of the reason why this thing has gotten so out of control is that it's not just one person covering this up. It's like dozens, if not hundreds, multiple administrations. United States governments have covered this up. Other foreign governments have covered this up. The cover-ups go deep, and every attorney general, and let's just talk about it from our end. I can't speak to Britain or whatever. Just talk about it on our end. There's been 4 presidents that have either covered this up or just put their head in the sand. And it's also 4 attorneys generals. Oh, well, at least 4. I don't know how many Trump had. He had a few his first term. He'll have a few this one as well. But just so many people have covered this up. And Pam Bondi, who campaigned on opening this up, is still covering it up.
I want to know, at what point did the FBI and the DOJ decide that Lex Wessner was not a co-conspirator? Because our Epstein Files Transparency Act requires you, please put it back on the screen, please, to release the internal decision about whether to prosecute him or not, and it's not in the files, and it's not in the files for any of these other men.
Time of the gentleman has
Which,
expired.
may she answer?
And he's a hypocrite because he voted against the ban that we were talking about on deep fake AI porn. Only 2 people voted against it, and
Oh, your whole line of questioning is irrelevant because you voted against a different bill about AI deepfake porn. Dude.
you were one of them, hypocrite.
The gentleman's time has expired.
The Attorney General calling an elected official a hypocrite when he asked a very fair question.
She didn't answer the question.
Mr. Chairman.
You heard someone yell, she didn't answer the question because she didn't. She didn't answer any questions.
Mr. Chairman, could she answer the question?
Chairman, I was wondering.
The gentlelady's allowed, the Attorney General's allowed to respond the way she wants to respond to any member's questions, Republican, Democrat.
All right, I have unanimous consent request.
Gentleman's recognized for a UC.
All right. This is an example. I'm submitting these 302 forms that are entirely redacted, even when you go to look at them.
Without objection.
I'm submitting
There weren't supposed to be any redactions.
a witness statement that implicates Les Wexner.
Without objection.
Why are we not investigating Lex Wessner?
I'm submitting an article from the New York Times that the DOJ released nude photos and
Without objection.
identifiable pictures.
Why did the DOJ release the victims' names and nude photos? I thought they were trying to protect the victims.
Pictures of the victims. I'm submitting a letter from AG Bondi to Kash Patel, imploring him to quit keeping the files when you found out that they were keeping files from you, because they're still redacting files that you.
Chairman, are we going to
Without
recess for votes?
Yes, we are.
I'm submitting for unanimous consent a document of 17 individuals who've resigned because of the Epstein files.
Without objection.
Yeah. So yesterday, Kash Patel, he went in front of the Senate, and honestly, the audio on that is really bad, and the video is really bad as well. So it's really hard to share anything with you guys. But that one was a little bit more lame. This one today was Attorney General Pam Bondi, who I believe is Kash Patel's boss, but I'm not entirely sure about that. Yeah, she this isn't her first hearing in front of Congress. And she goes into it ready to be contentious and ready to fight and ready to not answer any questions and to basically it's like she's just trying. It's like a Trump rally. It's like a Trump rally. So everyone, all the Republicans and Pam Bondi, when they go up, they're just like, "Hey, can you believe we really got all the crime fixed around here?" So it's just when the Republicans go up, it's very sycophantable, just like, "Hey, Trump's the best president ever." And then when Democrats go up, they just literally at this point they're just asking very fair, simple questions, and Pam Bondi has no interest in answering any of these questions because it's incriminating to her, it's incriminating to Trump, and it's incriminating to just a lot of the elites in general that she's trying to protect. But the main thing we need to get out of this is that this is the Attorney General of the United States. She works for and is paid for by the people, and she will not answer questions from the people. Pam Bondi needs to be fired now. And it's not just her, it's the entire cabinet. You know, I was just thinking, I haven't heard from Hegseth in like at least a month or something like that. But yeah, Pam Bondi's got to be fired. She's not doing anything. I don't know what she's doing. She talks about all these arrests and stuff like that. We don't give a shit about the low-level gambling guy. We want the pedophiles to be arrested and justice to be served. That's what we want. We don't want whatever the hell this is. So there's a few other congressmen that really had some really good interviews with her as well, and I'll try to get those to you guys. But yeah, man, that hearing was something else. That was too much. So I'm gonna get some more videos of some more of those interviews, some more of those questions, and it's fascinating. There's a lot of good stuff to get to, guys. So do me a favor, like, share, subscribe, and I'll keep this content coming for you. Thank you.